It's time. It's time to get into the groove. Oh, there it is, or a channel if you like. Now, you see, the thing is about the groove, you can create it in all sorts of ways. You could just spindle mould it, you could use a table saw, which is a bit laborious, or you can just use the humble router. But there is something you need to be a little bit careful of if you don't want to gnaw up your piece of wood. So, let's talk about routers. Alright, routers for creating the groove. Yes, let's get jiggy with it, shall we? Anyway, I've got 3 routers here with 3 different bases. Let's bring it over here so you can see that one. So I've got this little Kinzo router here. It's not a bad little thing. It's cheap as chips. Cost me about €30, it did. I've got this rather expensive, overpriced Metabo router. And then we've got, I would say it's probably my favourite router, and that is this old Makita. I think it's the 36 something or other. What is it now? The 3612C. It's an 1850 watt router. Now, there isn't about the actual power necessarily that makes this router my favourite for the channeling. And as you can see, I've got an appropriate router bit in there with a roller guide, right? Now, the thing is about this particular router is it has one extra lock that you don't get on this plunge router over here. Now with this, bog standard plunge router, you can push it down, can't you? And set your depth, and then you twist your handle. You've got a little lever, and you can lock it off. Okay. Now that can be problematic, especially with this type of a locking mechanism, because while you're using the router, you can accidentally, when you're turning it around, you can accidentally release it. You see. Now, that can make a nasty mess, and I'll explain in a moment. The other options, which I would say are better options, would be a fixed base router like this one. So when you set the depth, that's fixed. There's no springs, there's no way of actually moving up and down. You literally got to unclamp it in this case, and then you can set the depth, right? And generally speaking, that'll stay put. That works quite well, especially for small, especially your palm router like this one, especially for smaller grooves where you're not, or in softwoods and stuff like that. Easier timbers to work with. But then you've got this little one. Let's put this over so you can still see the Metabo. You've got this one. Now, where this one is, I think, is special and the best option is because you can't get it wrong. Once you set it up, it ain't going to shift on you. Now, the reason for that is you can set the depth using your turret and the usual kind of little plunge mechanism here. In this case, they're quite strong on these Makitas, little brass buttons and stuff, and metal knobs and stuff. It's really good. But you've also got this one, and this locks the height. So you can lock the depth and you can lock the height. So basically, you lock it in its position. So once you've set that into position on your piece of wood like this, right? It ain't going to all of a sudden shoot up and gnaw out of the top of your piece of wood. And also, it ain't all of a sudden going to go down because, obviously, the turret mechanism, what have you, because that's going to stop it from going down and gnawing through the back of your piece of wood. So you end up with a more uniform groove. It works really, really well, that it does. Alright? Whereas this one, you can literally, like I said, all of a sudden, you can relax it. It can become unlocked, even the lever locks and do that and effectively gnaw out of the top or create a wider groove or just shift out of alignment and all of a sudden the groove is going along like that, and then it does that. You don't want that, do you? Because when you try and get your slip of wood in to create the tongue, well then, it ain't going to help, is it? It's going to be bendy. Like a roller coaster. Don't want that. So my recommendation would be a fixed base router or a router like this Makita, which you can lock the depth and the height. Anyway, it's only a short little video. I just thought I'd share that with you because that's exactly what I'm doing at the moment, and I think it's quite a useful thing to know if you don't want to mess up your work. What they say, chance prefers the prepared mind. That I do. Yeah, that's what I used to tell my kids, but they didn't listen, did they? Doodaloo. Don't forget, boop the old like button. Boop, boop.